everyone, it's me, Kylie. I am back. This feels a little weird, but I have good reasons for being missing, even though I said I was coming back. I can get into that in this video. First things first, I just have some housekeeping to go through. I will put a timestamp somewhere for when we start talking about books and things. The first thing you may have noticed is that I changed my channel name. I'm no longer Horriblest Gremlin, which is my general screen name, but I went ahead and changed it. I had the help of a friend picking it out. I'm now way overbooked. I have been toying around with changing my channel name for a bit now, just because I wanted to separate like my YouTube identity from my other social medias. So Horriblest Gremlin will be my general user, and for YouTube I will be known as Way Overbooked, because I'm so overbooked. So the next thing I have kind of on my agenda is talking about like just what my plans are for YouTube. A lot of those have not changed. I've just had recently a lot of life-changing events happen, and things going on and schedules moving around that have stopped me from wanting to start as soon as I wanted. So I believe last time we left off it was the new year, and I was gonna come back and do some videos. I don't think that I ever promised much, but I still have my plans. Let me put my notes down. I just had a couple interventions. Oh, I need my notes again. I have already been absent for a little bit, so I don't think it's like that big of a deal. My goals are pretty much the same. I'm just going to have to make a couple adjustments due to my life circumstances. One of those being is that I want to upload more consistently. I just know that in the future I'm not going to have the opportunity quite yet. Eventually I would like to increase my uploads, hopefully keep it to somewhat consistent levels, but definitely more than like 3 months, 6 months, you know, things like that. Part of what's stopping me from doing all these like YouTube goals that I wanted to do is that I'm getting a divorce. A lot of the people who are close to me and in my personal life, and even some online friends, have already been made aware. It's actually almost finalized already. Just kind of waiting for like the judge to sign everything. So as far as that goes, everything is good. It was just a little stressful for a while, and it ate up a lot of my time. But that should be wrapping up here soon, which means I can kind of like get the ball rolling in different areas of my life. With that being said, I have had to look for more work. Last summer, the plan was that I was going to work part-time, save money for like daycare reasons until my son got in school, but then I was also going to study medical coding. I did not finish that, which is fine. Life kind of just got really crazy there for a moment. And so now that I'm getting divorced and my son has to go to some sort of after-school care, and I'll be supporting myself and my son halfway, I'm needing more work, which is fine. I've been wanting to do more full-time work for a while, but I guess now's the time. Anyways, I got a job. Today that I'm recording this, it's Wednesday, March 23rd, and I start next Wednesday, March 30th. So this week will be the last week where I currently work, and I will just be getting ready for that, filming an update video and another video on the stack, which is one thing that reading wise I really wanted to focus on this year. I'll get a little more into that in a bit. I did start some new medication just for like personal health reasons. They're going really well, but it is taking an adjustment. I guess that's one thing that I just wanted to put out there, is that I have these plans for my channel, but I'm going to need a little bit more time than I initially anticipated due to adjusting to being divorced, being a single mom, a new job, and some new medicine that's gonna just like kind of make me feel crappy for a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up that housekeeping. It's not what you're here for anyway, and talk about books and things. So I'm just taking a look at my notes here real quick, and I think where we left off, I was just reviewing just kind of going over like how my reading year was in 2021. I was just starting to get back into reading, and I had all these plans for my channel going back into that. I went ahead and just jotted down some goals that I remembered. I know that I wanted to read 36 books in 2022. I was developing the stack, which I am going to do a video after this about the stack. I don't know if I'll film it today or possibly tomorrow. I do have a couple things I need to get in order. I just don't know what my time's looking like today, but I am gonna do most of the details on the stack in a different video, like I had stated before as well. And then I also wanted to bring back community reviews. I rewatched my last video and I know I talked about it a little bit, but community review videos, I did one of them on Miracle Creek by Angie Kim and it was a lot of fun. I want to do something like that again, but I am realizing that with my life circumstances right now and just my general like outreach ability that I have, I'm probably going to need to adjust it a little more than I had initially anticipated as well. I'm thinking something more like a live and having specific people host, more like a book club thing. My whole purpose behind it, it really is just to get the community a little more involved in a broader discussion. Let's see, and as I said, my next thing I have is that the stack will be mentioned in a different video. I still have the stack. I'm making a couple modifications to that. Stay tuned for that. I did read some things this year. I didn't get through everything that I really wanted to read. I know that I DNF'd a couple things. I know for sure one of them was The Rook. I had talked about that in my last video. I was reading that with a friend in this book club that we're starting, which is touch and go, but I DNF'd that and he did too. It was not working for us, I guess. I know he recommended it because I'm trying to get into fantasy and he thought I would enjoy it. It's not, I didn't really like it that much. I found the main character pretty aggravating personally, and a lot of the decisions were muddled. I wasn't clicking with the plot. I didn't have very much care for the urgency behind everything that was being discussed. I would need to think a little more on that. That was way back in January and it's almost April, but I know that I really was not jiving with the story as much as I had hoped I would. So I don't remember the other one that I DNF'd. If I happen to remember, I'll stick it somewhere for you to see. But the things that I did read, I am very excited about. Most of the things I've picked up this year have been pretty enjoyable, which I'm happy about. Always starting the year off strong. I started very strong with Heartstopper Volume 4. That just came out in early December, I believe. I finally got it from my library and I read it, and honestly, every single one of the volumes so far have been just like a solid 5-star read. There's not really too much that I can say about it. It's just a really fluffy, like LGBT teen romance story. It gives me the fuzzies and it's just always a comfortable read for me. I then also read Paper Girls. I read volume 4, 5, and 6. At the end of last year, I had read the first 3, and I really enjoyed them. And then this year, I finished them. There are 6 of them. I really enjoyed them. It was a really fun kind of sci-fi adventure. If you like the idea of like dimensions and hopping like timelines and stuff, this is really something you should pick up. I originally thought it was going to be like a 5-star for me just as a whole, but now that I've picked up other stuff by the same creators, specifically Saga, I'm into Saga right now, I definitely think that Saga's a little better. So I've changed that to a 4-star. Still very, very good, but now that I've read more by the same author, I think that it could have been better, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But that leads me into my next one. I've been reading Saga. I've actually just finished volume 4 right before I turned on the camera. So I've read 1 through 4. I enjoy them. I'm still right in the middle, so there's not a ton that I can say about it, but this one definitely leans more towards like fantasy than Paper Girls did, but both of them are still very fantasy sci-fi-ish, and I really enjoy that kind of thing. I'm gonna have to get some people that I know to look at it if they haven't already and recommend things based on that, I think, because I'm really enjoying Saga a lot. It's got the drama, it's got war, it's got a vast cast of characters, and it's just a lot of fun. I read The Midnight Library, I read Slewfoot, and I read Tin Man. Tin Man didn't like it. It wasn't a full-on hate, but I really didn't like it. It's not something I recommend. The reason I didn't like it is because the writing style was just not something that I enjoy. It was I describe it as like love lettery. So if you're the kind of person who likes those like longing love letter type stories, you might enjoy this one. And it's kind of a bummer because I had really high hopes. I know there's talk about it being kind of like speaking towards like bisexuality, but it was really unmemorable except for the irritating feeling I got when there was a bunch of love letters. I do like kind of literary fiction and contemporary writing, but I find that it can be very hit or miss, and I need to narrow down like specifically what it is that I really click with those genres. But I really loved The Midnight Library. This was a solid 5-star. I really connected with the main character. She I saw myself in her, and I guess with all the things that I've been going through, like wondering what I want out of my life and going through just this divorce process and all these changes, it really gave me something to think about. I really connected with the main character, and I definitely recommend it if you're kind of in a limbo state in your life and you maybe want to read something that might inspire you to just think about what you're seeking from life. I read Slewfoot. Yes. So I read Slewfoot by Brom. I really enjoyed it. This was like definitely like a demonology book. It was labeled as a fantasy. I don't really consider it a fantasy. If you read Slewfoot, recommend books that are similar because I also really enjoyed this. What I loved the most about Slewfoot was that number one, it was like really high stakes, but also just, I guess as a woman, I felt a little bit empowered by the end of it. There was a lot of moments where I wanted to scream. Some of the characters in here are truly disgusting people, and some of them are just, you want to give them a big ol' hug. I didn't expect to connect with some of the characters within the story as much as I did. Definitely pick it up. It's something that I think you would like if you really like topics about religion and seeing people get what they deserve a little bit. General, I guess, witchy vibes. I now want to read much more by Brom. I know that I don't think there's a ton out by him, but for sure the next one I want to pick up is The Child Thief. That one's been on my TBR for a long time, but I just for some reason haven't grabbed it yet. But reading what I read, I would like to read that. I've heard great things about that one for sure. I have a couple things on my TBR for the rest of March and probably into April. It's almost April already, but I'm gonna try to keep it pretty light, although as the channel suggests, I'm always way overbooked. I'm still finishing up Saga. I have a goal to finish Saga by the end of the month. There's, I believe, 9 volumes out right now. I have the remainder of those, and I would like to finish those relatively soon. I also have a friend who keeps telling me to read my lesbian experience with loneliness. I got that. I'm gonna read it. Should be pretty quick. Called Flatland. It's kind of like a classic. I've heard it's really sexist, so I'm gonna just go in there knowing that. I always tend to fall down those kinds of rabbit holes, just like stuff about dimensions and time hopping and those kinds of things. It interests me, it's fascinating, and I always want to learn more. But I have that to read. It is going to be a soft TBR option, but if I can get to it, I'll get to it, and that'll be great. The other one, which I started, I might have to restart it. I'm only 7 pages in, but I picked up Near the Bone by Christina Henry. Photo right here, and I saw this on someone else's channel, and they said that if you like creature features, you might like this one, and I love creature features, so I picked it up right away. Also, there's an isolation aspect to it, so this seems like something I would really like to read. I hope that it's not terrible. I'm not gonna lie, the first 7 pages kind of like had me questioning that, but I will give it a better shot than 7 pages. I do want to get to the collected schizophrenia. I did talk about this. I've talked about this before in my last video, and it is on the stack. It's like the first thing on the stack. I've been wanting to read it for a while. I still have it set aside because it's so short, so I'm not going to like try to redraw stay tuned for that explanation. But I'm not going to redraw for that. I'm just going to keep it out and mark it off of my stack when I can finish it. That's kind of where I'm at reading wise. There's going to be a little bit of a lull moving forward, just as I kind of like get my new schedule situated and my new way of life, and just discover more about what I really enjoy reading. And then of course, if there's an update, I will update you on that. I hope you guys like the new channel name. If you have any recommendations based on what I've said here today, let me know. All the links for whatever books I've talked about will be in the description, as well as any other information. If you're interested in doing something for community review content, or you want to put a contribution in, you can email me. I'll put the email I have for this channel down below, or message me on other social media. Most likely I'll answer. If not, scream at me until I do. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and you have a great day. Bye.